IVM.
You are the most valuable investment you will ever make. Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawala, your leadership coach, life coach, and emotional intelligence coach. You probably know me from the Empowering series, and this is my new show, The Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawala. I'm going to coach you to be the best version of yourselves. So get ready to create, attain, and manifest the life you've always desired and make it your reality. Welcome back, my precious ones. It's time to decode the 4 agreements as discussed in our previous episode. The first agreement, be impeccable with your word. It is not only the first most imperative agreement, but it is also in practice the most difficult one to honor. Now, remember I asked you a question earlier. Are you impeccable with your word? I do have some more questions for you now. Do you gossip often? Talk loosely about yourself or others? Do rumors spread through you? If you make a promise, do you keep it? Are you committed in your communication? Do your friends and family believe in your word? Does your word hold any value? Like when you give someone your appointment, do you tell your friends you'll meet them in probably 10 minutes, but actually you're going to take 30? Or you told your colleague you will be there in time, but you weren't. Do people take your word loosely? According to this first agreement, no matter which language you speak in, your intention is manifested through your words. And words aren't just that. Words are power. It enables you to be able to dream, to create, to ideate, share, or even destroy. Never underestimate the power of words. Your word is your bond. You are bound to it. You're bonded with it. When you communicate, you give a sneak peek to someone on who you really are, just through your communication, through your words. When you aren't impeccable with your word, you eventually start lacking credibility and commitment. People start to or tend to trust you lesser. They don't expect you to live up to what you have said, and that means that you are less integral with every word you use. Now, on a lighter note, just for context, let me simply state that you should not be a bol bachchan. You know what that means, right? Your words create your communication, your identity. People know if you're wise, intelligent, arrogant, humble, calm, sad, aggressive, rude, proud, all by the use of your words, right? Words have started wars and ended them. In fact, they still do. Words have built businesses and destroyed them too. The same goes for jobs, relationships, and, of course, life. The human mind is fertile, The seeds you grow in the mind are grown deep and strong. And unfortunately, instead of planting seeds of prosperity and growth, we plant seeds of fear. Fear of different things, fear of different situations, fear of uncertainty. And that's what we keep growing in our minds. So very consciously, be impeccable with your word. In a nutshell, and in the words of Don Miguel, speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using words to speak against yourself or gossip about others. Use the power of your words in the direction of truth and love. Let's talk some on the second agreement, which comes from the first. And this agreement invites you to the most simple sounding, yet also tough to achieve. Even Oprah thinks so. Don't take anything personally, irrespective of who said it, where it comes from, and what it means to you. Obviously, this sentence itself is sufficient to understand, right? Don't take things personally. That's the second agreement. But you ought to ask me, Zarina, that makes sense, but not always. Sometimes people are personally attacking you. How do you not take that personally? I know as human beings, you are sensitive to what is being said about you, thought about you, how you are made to feel by others, which is in a way good and bad for you. It's good because it makes you understand where someone else is coming from. Open up yourself and communicate. It helps you empathize with someone else. Better so, in a sense, it's good, but it also causes you suffering because it increases your expectations from people. You're constantly afraid of judging or being judged. It can get you easily offended. Your ego might come in the way. You may not be open to people's comments and their feedback. There's a chance of conflict or disagreement. Isn't that right? So often, when someone is complimenting somebody else in front of you, you take that personally. You think you're lesser. But maybe that wasn't about you. I have also noticed sometimes people not taking good feedback when they're at work. They don't realize it's about the job. They take it personally. They get offended. Then they start defending themselves. You know why? Because people live in their own world, own reality. Everyone has their own journey and struggle. Everyone's dealing with something, isn't it? And that's why their perspective or their thoughts come from their own sense of reality, their journey. Nothing other people do is ever about you. You need to remember that. It is only and only because of themselves, their perspective, their reality, and their journey. And we always have the choice as to what we want to let in. How I understand or perceive this agreement rather is very simple. Look, when someone passes a comment on you, makes you feel a certain way, maybe a relative, a friend, a colleague, makes a remark on you, your appearance, your abilities, your talent, your skill. What they say sounds offensive and it makes you uncomfortable. And then what really happens is they walk on. They're doing their own thing. They may or may not even remember what they have said to you. But you clearly remember what was said to you, right? You live with it. Now what's the objective? The person who said it, they meant to offend you or hurt you, or they could be going through their own share of struggles and not have realized what they have said to you at all. But now you went on to take this to your heart and you feel absolutely lowly and you fill yourself up with self-doubt, all because somebody passed a comment, said something to you. You took it personally. You see what's happening here? Nothing they have said was really about you. It was about them and their state of mind or even their level of bitterness. What people put on their display pictures, WhatsApp statuses, and stories isn't always a personal attack. When someone else is being appreciated in front of you, it isn't a personal attack on you. When someone appreciates your colleague's work over yours, don't take it personally. I'll go as far as saying when someone is absolutely derogatory, condescending with you, yet be objective about it. Now you are thinking, how could they talk to me like that? How dare they? Am I really that bad? Why are they mad at me? What have I done? Why am I being shunned like that? Learn in the moment to stretch your perspective. Remember to tell yourself, it's not about me, it's about them. What they say reflects upon them, not on me. Don't make yourself the locus of other people's lives. Don't be a know-it-all. Maybe you have understood right, maybe you haven't. Just be. Remember the crux of this agreement. Don't take it personally. Take a pause. Be objective. Don't take everything upon yourself as if it's all about you. Give your emotion an identity. Give their emotion an identity if you can. Practice self-acceptance and learn to validate yourself. Acknowledge your feelings. Acknowledge yourself, irrespective of the seeds of doubt others put in your mind. In the author's words, nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions of others, you won't be a victim of needless suffering. So don't take it personally, because the truth is that a person is dealing with his or her own feelings, beliefs, and opinions. That person tried to send you poison. And if you take it personally, then you take that poison and it becomes yours. Now bring out your journals and start journaling something else to help you use these agreements better. So here are a couple of things that you can do. These are just bonus tips for you since we're in the process of journaling and understanding how to use these agreements. First, put down 3 things you usually say that you are always committed to. Then put down 3 things that you usually say to save a situation, but you never intend to keep that commitment anyway. Now, when you put this down, you also need to write with it, how do you plan to change that if you really want to and if you really could? And lastly, just write down 5 things that you take most personally. Things that instantly trigger you, make you react in one way or the other. They make you boil, maybe stressors, triggers, things that people say to you that offend you, and you instantly start defending yourself. Put that down and ask yourself, how can I change my response to this? So my precious people, if you enjoy listening to the Life Manifesto and manifesting your life and achieving your dreams, please go ahead and like and rate our podcast. You can also click on the notification bell to get to know as soon as our latest episode drops. Do subscribe to the Life Manifesto. It's going to help us go a long way and also reach out to like-minded people who want to truly manifest their lives and live the best version of themselves. In the meanwhile, do what you love and do it often. And if you don't like something, go right ahead and change it. The power is within you. Thank you for tuning in to the Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. If you find the show useful, then please share it with your friends, family, and co-workers. You never know. You may just help someone become the best version of themselves. And if you want to align your life with some signature masterclasses, certification courses, and live sessions with me, go check out and download my app, Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla, available on Play Store or Apple Store. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to share with me, get in touch with me on my social media handles. I am at Zarina Poonawalla on Instagram and LinkedIn, and at Zarina Speaks on Twitter. See you in the next episode.
Hello, everybody. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says His Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Naveen, Vagda, and Antariksh talk about the American mother who was arrested because her kid took marijuana-laced gummies to school. Vagda is a co-host for our show Press Decode, so if you haven't been checking that out, check her out on that show as well as this one. The Simplified Gang explore Mumbai through Naren stories and observations. On All Things Policies, the Takshashila folk discuss the U.S. Supreme Court's potential decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. On the Life Manifesto, Zarina introduces us to Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements of Life. And on Hansivani, hear the story Nai Idgah. It explores the role of media amidst a state of religious animosity in our country. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, we've been doing a series of profiles of people within the office, so do check that out for sure. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platforms you're listening on. And you can also check us out on YouTube. We have a page on our website, ivmpodcast.com/YouTube, with a list of all our channels. We're also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you, the listener, responds to the advertising on our network. And also, we just want to know a little bit more about you. We would really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It will really help us build some better shows for you. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week, SBI Life Insurance and Jupiter, a digital banking app. There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the